Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are calling in from. Thanks so much for joining us. We are going to get started now with today's session. So, welcome to our Shoppable Pages live demo. My name's Ed. I'm a customer marketing strategist here at Unbounce, and I'll be your host for today's session. With me is Daniel Kim, one of our launch specialists here at Unbounce. Daniel's also going to be playing the role of our speedrunner today. And today we are putting ourselves in the shoes of hyper busy e-commerce marketers who are getting ready for a storm of summer sales, discounts, and promotions. To handle that storm, we're going to showcase how we can use Unbounce's Smart Builder to build a ready-to-launch shoppable landing page in just a few minutes. So I have a brief agenda for today's session. I'm going to start talking about the ecom brand that we're representing today, the problems that we are facing as an ecom brand and many e-commerce brands focus on, and why landing pages are the solution. I'm going to spend some time talking about the differences between Classic Builder and Smart Builder. And then Daniel's going to walk us through building an e-commerce page in record time using Smart Builder. We'll finish up the session with some questions from the group. So you'll see in the bottom right of this screen, there's the chat function as well as a Q&A function. Feel free to type out your questions in that box as we go through. Chloe and Carla from the Unbounce team will be moderating that a little bit and holding on to some questions for the end. And we'll make sure we spend as much time as we need to get those answered for you. So let's talk a little bit about Fox Cycles. We're a sustainability-focused electric bicycle brand, and we're selling our products across North America. Like many e-commerce brands, we have some similar challenges. We've got this huge catalog of products. We want to build tailored experience for every product. And we've got some exciting summer promotions coming up, like a 20% off sale for one of our more popular bikes. Some of those challenges that we're facing as an e-commerce brand are creating focus. We're competing for our audience's attention across a ton of different channels. We need to be as clear as possible about the offer for our audience when they're ready to make that purchase decision. We also know that speed is essential. We want our pages to be fast. We want our processes to be efficient. With hundreds of products, we can't sink endless hours into our campaigns. And we also know there's a seasonal aspect to our sales. We're cramming a lot of our sales into a shorter period of the year when e-bikes are more popular over the summer. That makes every aspect of efficient campaigns even more critical. So given these factors, there's a distinct need to optimize around a conversion, around that purchase decision for a visitor. And we know that landing pages are a really great solution for this. We know that we can create quickly. We can do, as a single marketer, as a small marketing team, we're working on a ton of different projects. We need to be able to do this fast and on our own as much as possible. We know we want a single call to action, clear, distinct, ready to make that purchase with just enough info to be confident in that decision for our customer. And we need to be able to manage these pretty quickly. We need to be able to start and stop our campaigns as needed. Over the course of a summer, we're going to be running hundreds, maybe thousands of campaigns. We have to be able to do that all in one place. So that's brought Fox Cycles to Unbounce today to build these hyper-focused landing pages. But now we have to make a decision around what kind of building experience we're going to do. When we look at Classic Builder and Smart Builder side by side, they can look pretty similar. Many of us know Classic Builder inside and out. It's a powerful tool for advanced design using custom script and code. And I think a lot of us feel like Poppy here when we're using Classic Builder. We are entering the matrix using custom JavaScript, using style sheets, creating hundreds or thousands of pages. Very much a power user experience. But for a less advanced, time-strapped marketer, we might feel a little bit more like Ian. We might not know exactly how the functionality works, or we might not be comfortable manipulating custom script and code. That can be quite daunting for a beginner user. Enter Smart Builder. It leverages over 2 billion conversion data points to provide templated sections, no-code apps and recommendations, and AI-generated copy, all with the intent that we as marketers can have confidence from the jump that our page leverages data to be conversion optimized, and that we as marketers take it across the finish line from there. So when we're in a world as marketers like Dana, a ton of distractions, a ton of different tools we could be using, optimizing our time as marketers is extremely important. Smart Builder helps us solve for this. So as Daniel works through our live demo today, I'm going to be highlighting a few key differences between the Smart Builder and Classic Builder experience. just keep that in mind. And with that, let's get going. Daniel, I'll let you take over and tell us a bit about the page we're going to be building today.
Sweet, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ed. So today we'll be recreating this final landing page for Fox Cycles that includes sections like a countdown timer, a purchase call to action directly to Stripe, and a testimonial carousel. So let's get started building a new page in Unbounce.
Stopwatches can officially turn on now for those keeping track.
Yes, please do, as I will be trying to make a record for the fastest landing page created.
Yeah.
I'll select Smart Builder just because I'm pressed on time on this new campaign and I want to build a landing page fast, which brings me into the guided experience. We have some options here to specify what kind of page we'll be building. I'll select showcase/purchase, and I won't be including a form just to make the purchase as my goal. We have here the look and feel of an e-commerce template. I'll start with this and update it later to my branding. And if I go into the create copy, this is the next and last step of our guided experience. We'll use these prompts to get copy recommendations here to build our page in record time with a few sentences and keywords for Fox Cycles company description. And if I also toggle this enhanced copy button, I could also get some brand descriptors, target audience prompts, features, and benefits as well.
So while Daniel's filling out the copy prompts here, I think this is a great showcase of, for a lot of marketers here, for a lot of people working in the marketing industry, you've probably been using ChatGPT for similar purposes like this, creating that initial point of branding copy or those sorts of things. So the goal of having copy recommendations built directly in this creation experience is to save us a lot of time and having it embedded and specifically targeting a few key pieces here, rather than kind of like that blue sky model of a general AI copy. We're starting really targeted design for this landing page based off of these things that Daniel's included.
Exactly. And if I don't like the first round of recommendations, I could generate more. I just clicking that generate more copy button, and I could choose an option that I like more than the other. For now, I'll choose option 2.
Awesome. And so now we're moving out of the guided experience into the actual building experience where Dan's able to manipulate the page. But that's kind of the gateway into Smart Builder.
Yep. As you can see, the Smart Builder generated a nice personalized template based on my copy recommendations. And now I will be matching the page with my own branding and be aligned with the final landing page that I showed earlier. So I'll start off with the page settings. I just want to make the background color of my whole page just to be white for simplicity. And then I will start with the header just to match my Fox Cycles logo as well. So if I double click an image, I am able to change the icon. I don't want these buttons on here as well. And just center align these quickly to make them all aligned in the middle of my header. Next up, I do want to delete some of the unused sections that I have already on this template. So for example, I don't want this pricing section. We could delete that. I'll be using a testimonial carousel as an app, so I don't need this section as well. And I do want to change my benefits section to be a little bit more simpler. So I'll be taking this section out as well. Next up, I will be including a benefit section. As I click the plus sign in the middle of each section, I am able to get different layouts for different sections of the landing page. For this instance, I will be using the benefits section and using the simple checkered list right here, or bullet list. I do like the group of photos on this section, so I could easily drag and drop it into one of these blue bars. Once they're highlighted green, it will automatically go into the section I want it to go into. I'll delete this photo placement here. And I do want to just make the width of this benefit section a little bit higher or a little bit wider. And I'll match the copy into the text box.
Yeah, so very quickly, you've seen how Dan's gone from these initial templated sections that he has, pulling those in, figuring out layout, and once he's got those main Lego blocks that he wants to use for a page, he can start pulling things across them and customizing as needed. Dan grabbed like an initial benefits section and basically combined two of them by pulling that group of photos into place. He was able to adjust the width of it. He was able to kind of grab and pull and delete out certain sections that he wanted to recreate. generally we wanted to keep this page pretty tight and focused by having like a short benefits section, a main call to action. And we thought that would be a good starting point. But there's tons of options for us from a testing standpoint later on to start using a few more styles of page or using different feature images, that sort of thing, maybe doing a bit more of a long form page. I think the main thing to showcase here is that there are all of those templated sections for Dan to use, but he can very quickly customize those once he's got a good vision for what he wants to do on the page.
Yep, exactly. And if you didn't see what I just did, I did replace the images to my own branding, and also I am just editing the padding of each of this section just to make it a little bit smaller.
Awesome.
Sweet. And then I do want to delete this old section where I got those 3 images from. And finally, I do want to add one more section in terms of the structure, which is the CTA or call to action section. I want to make it a little bit smaller, or choose this layout, for example. I think it's a really great way to really close the loop on your primary CTA, which is that Stripe button that we have that we're going to be inputting later on, but it's pretty much the final words that you would get to say to your visitor that they made the right purchase.
Yeah, that last call to action of like, what are you waiting for? Here's the savings.
Exactly.
You've read all the info. You've been through the entire experience. You're ready to make a purchase now, and we've got that final chance to get them ready for that decision. Awesome.
Exactly. And I also want to link this button back to the section up top, which is really closing that loop to the top of the section, as I just did here.
Awesome.
Yep. And just make the padding a little bit smaller to make that section size down a bit. And finally, I do want to match my footer to my header as well.
Perfect. Pretty good looking page so far, Dan.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's the last step of our structure of the landing page. Now that we have completed the main structure of our page, I want to integrate some apps. So Smart Builder has a library of third-party apps to include on your page. For this example, I'll be adding a countdown timer, a testimonial carousel, and a Stripe integration. So I'll start off with the countdown timer. It's a great app for just showcasing a promotion when it's time sensitive as well.
Definitely, yeah.
And since the promotion for the 20% off bike ends in 1 week, I'll change the time and date to 12 a.m. It'll dynamically change up there. I do want to make this section a little bit smaller as well. So I'll change the padding to 10 pixels. And there we have it. That is
Awesome.
the first app. Second app I want to integrate with is the testimonial carousel, which I could open up and have the layout up here. Just move the section a little bit more down.
So these ones, and Dan's going to continue going on adding in his testimonials here. Testimonial carousel and countdown timer are 2 really strong examples of the third-party app marketplace in Smart Builder compared to doing all of those things via custom code within Classic Builder. For those that have built countdown timers in the past in Classic Builder, pretty intricate to be able to just like pick a date and time and have that run as a default option and add that to your page really quickly. Huge time saver there. And what Dan's doing here with the testimonial, this previously all lived within a section of custom code when you would be adding one in testimonial section to a Classic Builder page. You would have to edit for each image we're pulling in, all of the copy that we would be pulling in, all of those types of things. So having kind of this pre-built Lego block version of a carousel here, huge time saver for Dan as he's going through. He's able to like quickly edit the number of testimonials he's included. He can set up autoplay and the amount of time delayed between those testimonials. It's a really quick and easy implementation. Go ahead, Dan.
Yep. And the last step will be the hero section that we're going to be implementing with Stripe. I could choose a number of layouts I want. I'll choose this one. Again, move the section a little bit down to match it with my hero section. Since we are using the Stripe app as our hero section, I no longer need this as my hero section, so I'll delete that. And I already connected my Stripe account, so I'll have the list of products I have here. or in this instance, we'll be using the Fox Racer. Just want to make the width of the page a little bit more, or the width of the picture a little bit smaller. Change my button to create some space as well.
Yeah. And so for anyone that's using a marketplace like Stripe or a marketplace like Shopify, again, having these built here, being able to kind of quickly pull in those products, a little bit of a cleaner experience. We'll get to showcase at the end what the purchase experience looks like for a visitor seeing this page. Really slick from an e-commerce standpoint.
Yep. And so now that I have all the sections that I want, I'm going to make some page level edits to the fonts and colors by using the style guide here. So if I hit the style guide, I can make page level edits to all my headings. I already have some brand fonts inputted into this section or into this category. So all I got to do is simply match it with my brand colors of each font of my headings and also the brand font or the font family.
So as Dan's going through this, the style guide is a very awesome feature of Smart Builder where now that Dan has saved the brand colors that he's using, he can quickly grab those and apply them across an entire group of elements. So like he's doing across heading levels, different sections of paragraph font, buttons and whatnot. That just makes it really clean for us to go kind of by a category level and doing these sort of page level edits rather than going element by element. For those that have done this in Classic Builder, it can be super time consuming to jump between elements and get things matching properly, and then kind of going back and double checking and making sure you didn't miss any elements. So having these all categorized by like the element level of like heading 1 and whatnot can be a big time saver.
Yep. I also did it with my paragraph and also my buttons. And
awesome.
Now that we have all the page level edits done, I do want to change the background colors of each section to give it a little bit more pop. So as I do that, I can also use my brand colors as well to change the background color.
And so for that, Dan's going into the individual section level and just editing the background color for that. But we can also do, like we started, just doing the whole page as a white page if we wanted to keep that consistent, or creating this sort of gradient effect by section throughout the page as well. So a few different options, just kind of depends on your design preference. Looking pretty good, Dan. Good on time as well.
Awesome, sweet. Now that we have the final look of the desktop view, I do want to just go into the mobile side of things to do some fine tuning and also make sure that it is pleasant to the eye, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be making some changes to the hero section. I feel like this picture is a little bit too big on the mobile screen, so I do want to shorten it down a bit. And I'm going to center align these titles and the price as well, and also the button.
So these changes that Dan's making here, these are all specific to the mobile breakpoint of the page. So mobile visitors will see this version, the desktop version will remain unchanged. We also have the option to go into the tablet view of the page and make a few edits there specifically if we saw a big core audience group within that tablet group. For those that have worked in Classic Builder, you know that mobile editing can be a little bit finicky. This is a lot cleaner based on kind of the container dimensions of Smart Builder. Mobile screen size variability is a lot better solved for when Dan's going through these different versions.
Yep. And now that I have the final look of my mobile view, it looks pretty clean to me. I could also preview it by toggling this button just to see how it would look live. And I could also go from the desktop view to see how it looks live. I think it looks pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Go back to the preview, toggle button, turn that off. And the final step is really finding that conversion goal. So
yeah,
if I go into the conversions icon right here, as you can see, the Stripe section is considered a conversion on this page. So whenever a visitor clicks this Stripe section button, it will be counted as a conversion.
Awesome. And I think we're ready to see the final version, Dan.
Awesome. So I'll publish the page. And once I go to publish, I hit the Unbounce icon. I can go back to the page overview here. I could also change the title to Fox Cycles 20% off campaign.
Good for future reference because we have so many of these
Yep.
campaigns coming up.
And here's the final look. And once I hit this button, should be going to a Stripe checkout. Sorry, maybe I didn't click it.
Is it popping up in another window for you, Dan?
Oh, there we go.
Takes a second.
Takes a second, but get your payment with the card and we'll get that deal closed.
This is real. You could buy a bike from Unbounce right now. We don't have any bikes in stock to send to you, but you could pay us for one of these. This is legit. Yes. Wicked. Sweet. Wicked. Absolutely. Hats off to you, Dan. Incredible job throughout that experience. Yeah, great chance to showcase. Yeah, we'll have the preview version up of the page. Dan's going to jump back into the builder, but we've kind of reached the end of that walkthrough experience now. So we've got about 10 minutes or so here. We're going to go through some question and answer from the audience. I will let the first question pop up. What do we got? So you can edit the mobile pages freely without changing the desktop. Dan, do you want to speak to that or do you want to showcase it a little bit? But yeah, in terms of that, when Dan's making, so if Dan jumped into the mobile view here, of his editor, and Dan, why don't you go ahead and make like a different adjustment to one of the sections, for example, like maybe changing the size of the photo?
Yeah, for sure. So if I want to make it even smaller, oops, sorry. So like, for example, like this.
Yeah. And then that change, if you jumped over to the desktop version of the page, it's not going to be reflected over on the desktop side. So those types of changes around like sizing and spacing, padding differences, centering certain elements, all of the things that you kind of do within a section, those are unique across the different breakpoints. Things like styling and whatnot, those all live in the style guide. So making changes to like the font color for all of your paragraph font, that will still apply across the entire page. I hope that answers that question. Yeah. Where can I find all of the different apps that Unbounce integrates with? Dan, do you want to jump over to the app section here?
For sure. So with Smart Builder, you could click on this little puzzle icon. And then if you just click that, see all the apps, you could see what apps are integrated with the Smart Builder specifically. And then also, we also do have some native integrations that you go into.
Yeah, and another place to look too is, I believe it's appmarket.unbounce.com. And there you'll be able to see all the integrations in one place that live both in Smart Builder as third-party app functionality and also live within like the Unbounce, like within the platform itself as things for like managing lead notification, sending things to a CRM system, kind of be able to see that all in one place. Thank you, Cueva, for adding that link in the chat. That's probably the best place to take a look. But if you're tooling around in Smart Builder, you'll be able to see all the apps within that general category. Dan, can you jump back into the building experience? Just wanted to highlight one thing about the apps marketplace. If in the apps section, if you go in there, there are different categories as well that you can filter through. So if you're looking at e-commerce versus tracking, forms, media, design elements, there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Can you choose a specific font for the testimonial section, or is it a set font? I believe it's categorized as within the design settings, Dan?
Yes, I believe it's the style guide. So
Yeah.
This would be considered a paragraph.
I believe so, yes.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I could double check right now, actually. So if I go to the style
why don't we
guide,
tool around?
Go to the paragraph, change it to, yep.
Yeah. So it's included as the paragraph font. So whatever you have established as that paragraph font within your style guide, that's what's going to apply to your testimonial carousel. Or for a testimonial section, if you were using one of the static versions of this. Great question. I saw that one pop up while we were going. I said, we'll have to double check. We got about 5 minutes or so left. We can get through a few more questions for sure. How do you add pixels and other tracking? So depending on the pixel, Dan, you're probably best suited to speak to this actually.
Yeah, so there is a tracking category here. So with Smart Builder, you are able to add these type of pixels, but we also have native integrations through the script manager that also works with Smart Builder. So if you just go into the script manager, we do have tracking integrations with Google Tag Manager as well, and
Yeah.
Google Analytics 4, as well as a domain level script, tracking script, rather than
Yeah.
just a specific page.
So really depends what your goal is. Like if you were running a Smart Builder page and wanted specifically to put a Facebook tracking pixel on that, maybe using the app version at the page level is the best option. But you could also do that at a domain level within Script Manager of your Unbounce account too. A/B testing versus smart traffic in the Smart Builder. Does it have it? Do you guys do a lot of that? The optimization cycle. So yeah, A/B testing and smart traffic are both fully applicable for a Smart Builder page, just like they would be for a classic builder page. So for Dan here, when he's setting up kind of in that overview section of his page, he's built out one variant. He could create a number of variants, and there he could set up an A/B test and apply different weightings to them. He could also set up smart traffic. And for those that aren't familiar with smart traffic, it's a different traffic allocation tool that distributes your visitors based on the page that the algorithm thinks they're most likely to convert on. It takes a little bit of about 50 to 100 visitors or so to learn. And then it'll start bucketing your audience into this audience is most likely to convert on variant A. So I'm going to push them to variant A, similarly for variant B, so on and so on. So depending on your goal, each tool fully has a lot of customizability within it, but yeah, they're both applicable. Smart traffic from an optimization cycle standpoint can be faster in that regard because you don't need as high of a traffic threshold, especially if we get over 2 variants within a page group. For those of us that are really familiar with A/B testing, we know we typically need a high traffic threshold to be confident in our testing results, where smart traffic, we kind of just let the algorithm do its thing and it will provide recommendations as we go. And we're continuing to layer functionality on top of smart traffic, where it'll say things like, you might want to deactivate this variant because variants A and B are performing really well, that sort of thing. Great question. Robert, if you have more questions about that, definitely when we send out the recording of this session, reply back and be happy to answer more of those for you. We might have time for one more here in the allotted session time, and possibly we could get to a few more if needed. Can I connect Smart Builder to my Shopify store and directly pull products onto my landing page? So yeah, Dan, if you want to jump in to the building experience here, there is a Shopify app within Smart Builder. And so it does look a little bit different in terms of the adding a product experience, rather than logging into your product category, or sorry, logging into your Stripe account and adding a product that way. For a Shopify product, we actually just change the element to be a Shopify buy button. And then we jump in there and we'll grab the buy button embed code from your Shopify account and pull that into the Smart Builder page. So very similar experience for those using Shopify, just on a direct implementation, it looks a little bit different between the two e-commerce platforms. I believe that's going to be us for time. I'm just waiting to see anything in the chat from our moderators to see if I missed something. Oh, we've got one more. How many templates are there to choose from? Oh, big question. I think they're close to 60. There's a lot.
I could show the yeah, I could definitely show kind of
We've
the
started
XP again.
porting over classic builder templates into Smart Builder as well. So that really increases the library size overall. So for Dan here, if he's going through like different styling options, but also if you start looking through the different industry categories, and if you look at a different purpose of a page, I think we're getting to like that over 100, maybe 200, like tons of different, I don't know, thousands of different permutations of total pages you could create. So highly encourage people to take a look at the different industry categories and find different pages that might suit your campaign need. With that in mind, we are going to wrap things up in terms of time for today's session. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you learned a little bit about Smart Builder, and I hope this gives you some confidence to jump into the builder yourself. Try it out. Let us know what you think. If you haven't tried it in a while, let us know what's new that you're really liking. When you're in the building experience for Smart Builder, there is a feedback button right at the top of the building experience where that goes straight to our UX team, where you can let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what's working. And that's where we're making a lot of our product design experience or decisions about what kind of implementation we do around like new features and whatnot. So I highly encourage you to jump in there and give it a shot and let us know what you think. We'll be sending out the recording to everybody who is here today. Thank you so much again for joining. Feel free to share the recording with your colleagues and stay tuned because we've probably got another webinar coming down the pipe for you at some point. So really looking forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much for keeping Unbounce awesome. And from Dan and I will be signing off now. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, evening, or morning, wherever you're calling in from. Bye now.
Thank you.